Welcome, everybody. It's the BKBK podcast where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme. I'm your host, Brandon Phillips, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Brian Taylor, Captain Kyle McKenna, and hopefully Kerry Taylor. He's trying to sign in now. We'll see what's up for him. And you know what? He'll join us when he can, but all good. We're going to keep things rolling.
This pick's probably going to suck anyway. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I see connecting to audio.
Wait. He's connecting to audio. Check him out. Kerry Taylor. Yeah. There you go. Representing that Baldwin Bruins with that shirt. Love it.
100 years.
Yeah. Can you respond though, Kerry? Can we hear your audio or what?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can we hear you good? Yeah, baby.
Oh, you're lucky because you're the first tiebreaker. We were going to skip your tiebreaker, throw you at the bottom.
You know what? Hold on a second. Let me just explain to our audience what all that means. So basically, folks, if you're watching, this is this is the BKBK mock draft for the 2022 NFL draft. Of course, we're coming from the New York Jets perspective.
That's right.
We have our GM hats on. We're playing GM throughout, okay? Because we should be sitting in the chair. Not saying JD shouldn't, Joe Douglas, by the way. But like we just have the knowledge and the wherewithal to confidently sit in that chair as well. And we're going to show and prove to you why, okay? In French, pourquoi, all righty? Take that, all righty? All right, so basically, it's draft day for us, all righty? What we're going to use to simulate the draft is profootballnetwork.com. That's going to be our standard, all righty, guys?
Shout out to them. They put it.
Yep, shout out to them. Website. You know, no affiliation or anything like that, but, you know, we're going to use them, so thank you, whatever, you know what I mean? And we're going to pop it up on the screen intermittently just to show you where we are, what we picked, and we will articulate why we picked it, all righty? And listen, there's four of us, all right? We're going to take the democratic approach of voting as far as who we want to pick at, you know, their respective positions and why. But sometimes, since it's four of us, it's an even number. We may have a tie. So what we're going to do is, in the order of elderly to the youngest. Elderly? Oh, Kerry. Whoa. Why? People don't know your age. Why you? Oh, you just gave it. Yeah, you just gave it up. People don't know your age. Bro.
I'm just saying that's pejorative. Don't even use that.
No, I'm just saying.
We're going AARP to just got here.
I'll put you this way. How about this? You're going to be the tiebreaker first, and then once we get through that, I'll be the second one. I'm the second oldest. Okay, just by a few months, not years. And then it'll be Kyle McKenna, and then it'll be Baby Boy Beaver Brian. All right. All right, he'll be the fourth one.
The youngin.
We'll have that many ties, so you may not even be able to exercise your clout there, B. So just sit there, pause, make sure we good technology-wise, sucker.
Whatever.
All right.
And audience, everybody is playing their cards very close to the vest because in our pre-production meeting, nobody wanted to talk strategy. They all wanted to have their own perspective. So we're coming in here pretty blind on what
coming
the
in
others
hot.
want.
Coming in hot. Let's go.
Other than
line because Kyle tried to call me out about how much I love the tight ends and all of that, but we'll see what's up.
Sure.
Yeah.
So listen, guys.
Tight ends. Yeah.
Make sure you have your pen and index card, paper, whatever, so we can write down what we want to see, and then we can show the audience our respective picks. All righty. Daggone it, I have a pen instead of a Sharpie, but hey, whatever. I'll talk loud about it. We all right. All right. So. Let's see here. This 2020 NFL draft from the New York Jets perspective. Round one, we know the Jets have the number 4 pick in the draft. Oh, one other thing, guys. This is very, very important. We want to keep things realistic, but also, not monopolizing all of our time. We have decided to not invoke any trades because if we do the whole trade thing, we're going to be here until 2023. All righty? So we're going to keep the draft order as is, okay, as far as where the Jets are picking. So we're not going to do any trades, even though, we kind of would like to, and we're always talking about that when we're texting each other. But, just to save some time, we're not going to do it. And to hold on to the integrity of the draft, basically, there's no strong quarterbacks in this draft that would warrant the first pick in the draft. Not strong enough to warrant the first pick in the draft. I think that is a ubiquitous knowledge around the league and in the fans.
Look at you with ubiquitous. You know what I mean? Look at you.
Yeah, man.
Hey, big
You know what I'm
words.
saying?
Yeah.
Ergo, yeah, boy, I got more words for you too. But yeah, so it's a universal thing. So what we know is basically no quarterbacks are going to go number one. All right, and we also know this. We also know that Aiden Hutchinson is going to be going most probably first, but it's not 100%. So we've decided that if Aiden Hutchinson doesn't go in the top 3 of this randomized automated draft up until we get to the number 4 pick, where we pick as Jets fans and Jets GMs, then we're going to hit the reset button and do it again, because it is highly unrealistic that Aiden Hutchinson does not get picked within the top 3 pick. Does that seem fair?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Got it.
Check out Kerry. You good, Kerry?
There's always a curveball, but I think the likelihood is like this. Just is like you said.
Yeah.
That Aiden Hutchinson will be picked first. So
Yeah.
there are reasonable assumptions that we can make. Yes.
Exactly.
Look, if Aiden Hutchinson falls to us at 4 in real life,
Blow
we're
it
gonna
up.
be very happy about that.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying
Yeah.
even if it falls to 2, right? Does it even shake it up enough that the rest of the players are their positions change?
Depends who goes
Right.
1. Really, it depends
Right.
who goes 1. Yeah.
Right. So I think you're right. I think absolutely you're right. Yeah.
And I think it saves us if we keep it in the top 3, because I think there is like a 95% chance that Aiden Hutchinson is going to get picked number 1 by the Jags. But there's a 5% chance, like, who knows? They could go O-line and protect their huge investment in this generational quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, right? And there's some strong offensive tackles out there that could be picked, with that first pick. And we know 2 of them out there that, I'd say a 5 to 10% chance, but I'd still say that it's highly unlikely. But we want to give that a little breathing room while also staying realistic. So I think that's fair to keep it in the top 3. So if he falls out of the top 3, we're hitting the reset button. And if he stays in there and some of the people that we like get scooped up before we get them, we're just going to have to deal with that harsh reality of the NFL draft. So,
yeah,
I'm kind of heart palpitations, man. You know what I mean? Like, oh. All right, here we go. We'll get the pen and pad ready, guys.
Ready.
Let's make sure to intermittently pop up, the screen so that we can see and our audience can see who's been selected, so that we can make our democratic appeal for the votes and our argumentation and debate and and our dissenting opinions. Come on, man! I'm hitting you guys with crazy words out here. Crazy.
You guys ready for me to put up the mock?
Yes.
Bro, I've read like 3 books in
whatever
8 years.
Okay,
right,
once again, shout out to the people at Pro Football Network for creating one of the best simulators out there. We are going to pick the Jets as our team. We're going to set it to a 7-round draft.
Yep.
And we're going to pick Let's Draft. So when I pick Let's Draft here, the automatic simulator is going to start. So that's where we see where we're at. Okay, so we have we
have our first curveball.
Okay.
First curveball. Yeah.
Okay, so we have Aiden Hutchinson going number 1 to the Jags. Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty, going number 2 to the Lions.
Which is possible. It's possible.
And Trayvon Walker going edge. Also, edge / D tackle. He's a big guy. Going to the Houston Texans.
Kind of a lightning rod with Walker.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he went 3. I love that. I love the 3 and I love the 2 because it puts us in a position where we have a lot of players that we can select.
Yeah, I
think we're all consensus about what happens next, though.
Are we? I guess we'll find out.
So I think that the big thing here is the way this falls gives us several options. So
I would like, since Kerry is the tiebreaker, I'm pretty sure that we're going to go, everyone's going to be on the same page with this one. Let Brian go first, since he's going to be the last tiebreaker. I think that makes the most sense. Kerry, your back cleanup for us, all right?
Oh yes.
All right, so I'll go first. So the dude that should be selected at number 4, Kayvon Thibodeau. That's right. Edge from Oregon. That's my pick. Makes perfect sense. The dude is fast. He's strong. Had the stats to back it up. That's the difference between him and Walker for me. Walker didn't have the stats. He was more of a do-it-all type of player. But Kayvon, you put him on the left side, you put him on the right side, go get me the quarterback. And that's what he does. And that's what we need at the end of the day. Also, based on our defense last year and not being able to get at the quarterback and being, 32nd in the league in defense and stuff. So at the end of the day, this should be the pick for the rest of you turkeys, but let's find out.
All right, I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up from there. I also have Thibodeau. And for much of the same reasons that Brian said, I think that when you look at his season last year, there are a few injuries in there. He knew that he was going to be in this top 10 range. I think that when you're playing a season and you know that you're going to go high in the draft, you might make some business decisions in there. And
wasn't he like the number 1 pick potentially going back to before the season started? I mean,
yes.
they would talk to him as like the number 1 guy.
Hutchinson kind of jumped ahead of him with the body of work from the year.
Right.
He also benefited from having a Habo. How do you say a Jabo? The other DN at Michigan, who's also very good. That just unfortunately recently tore his Achilles. But I think that Hutchinson benefited a lot from that, and that brought his stock up. And he has a bit of a J.J. Watt thing going on too. But with Thibodeau, you have somebody who kind of lived up to the hype. He brings you like a Von Miller type of immediate threat to the quarterback with a Carl Lawson coming back off of injury, Jonathan Franklin Myers, and some of the other tools that we have, and maybe some of the other ones we'll get in this draft. It's an immediate upgrade on the pass rush. As I told you guys, I was really worried and still am worried about a Hutchinson, Thibodeau, Sauce Gardner 1, 2, 3 before we picked. That's like the scenario that makes me puke in my mouth. But I'm glad it worked out in our mock here that we can get Thibs here. I think it's immediate upgrade, and to me more of a need than a good corner in our system, where our system is more of a zone system. So Thibs is my pick too. So we're 2 for 2.
All right, we're 2 for 2. All righty, this is your boy Brandon A. Phillips coming at you, and here we go right here. Can you guys see that? Yes, sir. All righty, we're running 100 over here thus far,
except for spelling. Spelling, we're 2 out of 3 for spelling though, but that's fine.
I messed up. You said Thib. I spelled the wrong Thibodeau. Did I go? I went too French.
She went super French.
Though.
You went to Ponce de Leon over there.
Yeah, Ponce de Leon. That's Spanish, B. Get out of here. Stupid. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Kayvon Thibodeau as well. You guys already talked about his measurables, his stats and everything. But what a lot of people don't know, unless you're like really following this stuff, is that his stock has started to kind of fall a little bit, but for reasons that I think aren't like really like good reasons. You know what I mean? It doesn't merit the cause of his. It's not a true merit as far as like why he's declining or why they should have him declining. Basically, they're saying that his interests, like he's not 100% on football. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, listen, we all work for a living, right? We all work for a living. And we have other interests outside of work. You know, like let's say like you have like like a UFC fighter who gives his all. You know, especially in these like individual sports, and they just give their all, their heart, body, and soul into their sport. And then outside of the sport, they may have other little interests. You know what I'm saying? And Thibodeau, from what I understand, has other interests outside of football, and I respect that. As long as you come to play, you give it your all. I've seen the game tape on him, and I trust and believe that he is the type of player that is going to give it his all on the field, and he may have other interests outside of football. Basically what I'm saying is I don't think he's going to get his money after being the fourth pick, and then after like 5 years retire from the league because like he's getting pulled away because he's got outside interest. I don't think that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? He may end up being, I don't know, Michael Strahan after football is done or something. Who knows? But I don't think that's strong enough for me to not draft him or for his stock to drop. So I'm going with Thibs all day. He can play the five. He can play the edge, and team him up with Carl Lawson. Forget about it. We need that. And I'm gonna pass it on to Kerry.
Look, I think we're all in agreement. I have KT. His initials are the same as mine. So in the least, that's a reason to choose this guy. But look, we as the Jets, as an organization, we haven't had a pass rusher since the one that was living next door to my parents.
That's right.
Right?
Abraham, baby.
John Abraham?
Yeah.
John Abraham.
John Ellis.
To speak up.
John Abraham, he never drove his car onto your lawn?
No, he did not. There were other things. We could tell a lot of other stories, but I'm not going to. That those guys were great. Let's just say that. But look, if we add Carl Lawson back to the mix, if we bring in Thibodeau, we brought in Solomon Thomas. We have in existence John Franklin Myers. Look, I'm looking for stuff from Bradley and A, who we wanted to draft, a couple of years ago. Let's get a rotation together that's like the NASCAR, and a type of NASCAR package where we can, blitz from all angles, and you don't know where it's coming from. Not to mention, our Pro Bowl player Quinnen Williams. We have the potential.
Pro Bowl type.
He
hasn't made it yet, but he's a Pro Bowl type.
Okay, well, Pro Bowl type. Well, given those names. And those statistics, we should be able to rush the passer. If we can't, in drafting Kevin Thibodeau to this, then I don't know what to say. I have really high hopes for our defensive minded coach at this point. And look, I'm just looking to improve the pass rush, and I think adding Kayvon Thibodeau will serve us tremendously in that effort.
Yep. Totally agree.
Yeah, man.
All right, so
yeah, we're batting 1,000 here, folks. Kayvon Thibodeau, he's going to be the number 4 pick for the BKBK GMs in the 2022 draft. Now, Kyle is going to press the play button.
That's where it gets interesting.
And then we're going to continue down. You see it going down. Oh, to the 10th pick.
Okay, so this George Karflatis going at 7.
Wow,
is a little bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah.
He's
going to the Giants. That's why.
We almost got to a situation where Sauce Gardner fell to 10. Not surprised that he didn't, but that's where we are. So I know who I want, so I'm gonna.
Oh, yep. Kyle is up next, and I'm the tiebreaker. So it'll be Kyle, then Kerry, then Brian, then me.
Okay. I am gonna go with my favorite wide receiver in this draft, and that is Drake London out of USC. And in doing these mocks, as we've all been doing constantly on our phones through PFN, I really see a group of wide receivers that I'd like to add to our team that would include a Drake London, a Treylon Burks, a Garrett Wilson, and Olave. Like that group are a group of people that I'd like to see wearing Jets green. However, between picks 10 and 35, in the mocks that I've done, you're not really getting any of those guys unless you maybe have a chance of one falling. So would I mind trading back here and picking up a pick and getting Drake London? Not at all. I think that's a possible scenario. I'll give you a hot take right now. This pick might on draft day go to Seattle for DK Metcalf. I think that's not a dead conversation. I think it's something that's been a little bit deaded, but on draft day it could come back again. So with that said, we kind of talked about that a little bit. It would be kind of funny if we traded number 10 back to Seattle. It'd be the biggest troll move ever because we took that pick from them.
I would love it.
Noah Adams. I would love it as well. But I think when no trades, I go Drake London here. Drake London is explosive. You watch the film. He is that Brandon Marshall type that would be a great addition to our kind of sleek, more slotty type of wide receiver room that we have right now. I know I expect big things out of Corey Davis, but I think he's more of a solid 2 than he is a number 1 after the body work from last year.
Wait! I thought he was the 1A.
Well, I mean, we could call him a 1A if our quarterback ascends the way we hope he will. But
and
I think
he can stay on the field.
And if he could stay on the field. But I think Drake London would be a great addition. I like him better than Wilson and a little bit better than Treylon Burks, although I like Treylon Burks a lot for the same reasons.
All right. Great job, Kyle. Brian's up next, then Kerry, then myself. So B, take it away, B.
All right, I will. And listen, this is not an easy pick, and like Kyle said, I'd rather probably trade down a couple of slots. But
can we get rid of the screen so we can see you put your pick up?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So with the number 10 pick, I am selecting Garrett Wilson. Right?
Okay.
This is who I'm going with, right? And listen, I like Drake London. I do. I have a process. I feel like we need 2 wide receivers out of this draft. That's me. And if I'm selecting here, I would like to go on Jameson Williams, but the torn ACL right now has me, pausing. Right, I want to see where he's at on the other side. Since I'm selecting before I find that out, Garrett Wilson to me is that guy. 4.38 speed, can high point the ball, run after the catch. When you're talking about weapon, that's something that this guy can do. Now, do I want him to be a little bit taller? Sure. But that's not what I have here. But again, my philosophy is that we get 2 wide receivers out of this draft. So I have an opportunity to pick up somebody later in the draft that maybe fits that profile. That's a little bit taller, but still has some speed. So Garrett Wilson to me is that explosive player that we have been trying to find in that wide receiver group. Considering more runs of 4.38 as well. You got 2 wide receivers out there that are burners. Try to cover them all, right? That's kind of how I look at it. Drake London to me, coming off the ankle injury, running a 4.6 before the ankle injury maybe. That's really my concern at this point in time, but I think he's going to be a heck of a player. Garrett Wilson is my guy.
All right. Go ahead, Kerry. Take it away.
Look, as we have all pointed out, this is a very tough position 10 assignment to pick, right? Because there are so many players that we want here, but the problem is, do we want to pick them as high as we are picking them at 10? Are they worth a number 10 pick? the obvious answer is, yeah, we want to trade down and get somebody that get the same personnel that we all like, but get them at a lower cost, right?
Mhm.
So I think we're pretty much all in the same line of thought in that we want a receiver here at 10. But the receiver that I want is Treylon Burks. And the reason that I want him is that he was one of the highest rated PFF, as you know, my brother loves to mention.
He loves PFF.
Right.
Show the card, Kerry.
Sorry.
Show us your draft card.
Oh, can you see it, Treylon?
Closer.
Talk at the same time, so you show up.
Yeah, we see it now.
So, and these are the reasons we don't have this type of player on the roster right now that can go up and catch contested balls, play bully ball, go across the middle, can come out of the backfield. He did not display the speed that we would hope he would display at the combine, or
did he run
whatever.
like a 4.6, or what did he run?
Ran a 4.55.
4.55.
But again, it's I'm about football speed. I'm not about you being able to be trained from a sprinter standpoint and go out there and run
Yeah, I agree.
run a 40 per se. I'm about what I see on the tape, on the film. Yeah. And this guy is a beast.
And he played in the SEC.
He's hit right. His hands are huge, and he can a respectable distance to catch. He doesn't drop the ball, right? And we don't have anybody like that on our roster. We don't have a Deebo Samuel like the 49ers have on their roster. And I think that this guy can be a game changer when you have to plan for him. He's not a one-trick pony by any means. Now he's got some polishing up to do. He doesn't have the route running ability of Olave, or the speed of Wilson, or the downfield radius of Drake London. Potential to be better than all three of the guys that I mentioned.
He does.
And that's why I pick this guy.
All right. I respect what you're saying, Kerry. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm not going to go in that direction. The direction I'm going to go in, I will stay in the wide receiver room. And here is my pick.
No.
My pick is Drake London. London. And so we can put that in the books. And here's the reason why.
Wow.
I'm not mad at any of the other picks.
Nah.
Brian or Kerry, I respect both of them. You know what I'm saying? But this is the reason why Drake London for me edges both of those guys out. We have a quarterback that's still developing. He kind of has a little, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre in him, sometimes just throwing it up. And I want to feel safe that as he's continuing to develop, that we have a wide receiver with a wide catch radius, a little height mixed in with speed that can kind of help him out and camouflage some of those throws a little bit that you may not want him to throw. But hey, we got Drake London. Oh my goodness, he caught it. It's in the end zone. A red zone presence as well. A big body. We don't have any big body receivers on our team. We just got some tight ends, but they're not going to be as quick off the ball or lining up in the slot and being as effective as a wide receiver as Drake London is. And Drake London he didn't run a combine 40 time in the combine. And I just checked it out, Brian. You said a 4.6, but he's projected to run a 4.5. But we'll see. He's got a pro day coming up, I believe. So we'll see what those numbers are when they happen. And it should happen soon. But if he runs a 4.5, under that 4.55 that Trayvon Burks ran, I'm taking him at 10. I'm taking him at 10. And you guys know how much I love, Tyler Linderbaum. In our text, I wanted to get rid of our center. I still do. But since they have not, I have to be smart about it. The Jets have not moved on from the center that I feel like should be let go and give us some more cap room. since we're keeping him, let's get the wide receiver, help out our quarterback, who I still truly believe in, and we need a 6'4" Michael Pittman type of receiver who played well for Indy and was on the same team as Drake London before this season as well. So Michael Pittman had a really good year this year. I think Drake London can have an even better one playing in this system with this quarterback for the New York Jets. So I'm going Drake London at the number 10 slot.
Let me say, I'm not mad at any of these wide receivers here. It's to me, it's, what do you want, right? At the end of the day, when you're going down the buffet, right? Yeah. But I think they're all very similar in that respect. I wouldn't be mad if we ended up with Drake London. Looks like his pro day has been moved back until April 15th because he had a minor hamstring strain. So we'll get to see, hopefully, him run the 40 during that period of time. So, but if he ran the 4.5, I think that might have tipped my hat to go in that direction. Let's see what ends up happening.
Yeah. So I've seen Drake London as low as 4.4, and Drake London broke his ankle. That was his injury, and a break is sometimes better than a high ankle sprain as far as recovery, because it's a matter of just the bone healing and setting it. If it's not like a compound break or something like that. So and that also brings to mind that his body of work was -4 games because of that injury too. So statistically, he didn't get the showcase time, and I think he had 88 catches in his season without those last 4 games.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I think the big thing with Drake London is I had a feeling we'd be having this conversation about 2 weeks ago. Especially with Kerry's Treylon Burks infatuation. And I understand it because when you watch the film, he does have that Deebo Samuel comp with the jet sweeps and all the stuff that you can do with him. Robert Woods is another one that comes to mind.
A.J. Brown.
Yeah. So with that said, I watched the Treylon Burks and the Drake London tape back to back with my son, Lazo. And
nice.
we both came to the conclusion that we like Drake London better, and he actually told me that I should go into this mock with the post-it note that said Drake London no matter what.
Yeah, Laszlo.
So,
I love it. I love it.
So he's going to be amped up on the pick. So I'm going to go back to the screen.
Yep. Don't X out of it. Yeah, baby.
Okay, we gotta. Now, when you go into Pro Football Network, Drake London is a little bit down on the list.
Yeah, very much so.
We're not gonna. That's not where we're.
Yeah, he's at 25.
I think Treylon Burks is even further on the list, by the way. But
yeah,
he's 31. He's 31.
But you know what they say: if you want him,
get him.
But how about we trade that 10 and get DK and then draft Treylon Burks after that?
I thought you didn't want to do that, bro. I thought you didn't want to do that, man. I'm not trading my number 10 for DK Metcalf.
Treylon Burks just went at 28 to Green Bay, and onto a Pro Bowl career.
Of course.
Yeah, but you know what? He's got to deal with Aaron Rodgers' attitude. He's gonna want to bounce, after like his contract's up.
Wow.
By then he'll be going anyway.
So let's unpack some of these.
Very interesting place right now because this is round 2. This is round 2.
Yeah.
And there's some people out there. Ooh, I see some people out there that I like already. Ooh.
I saw Jaquan Brisker is gone, and I'm like that.
Man, Christian Watson is. I mean, if you were looking for the poor man's Drake London, that's where you were looking. Christian Watson has like the same measurables. He might even be a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Except that he comes from a really run-heavy offense in North Dakota State.
Limited route tree out there. Limited route tree.
Limited route tree. London runs better routes.
Yeah.
He runs better routes. But I happen to like that kid Pierce out of Cincinnati, by the way.
Guys, I can't see who's above Boye Mafe.
Yeah,
could you scroll up on that, Kyle? Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys want me to go to a particular position too, just let me know that too.
Gotcha.
Okay,
All right.
just going through some of the picks after we picked at 10.
Yes, let's do that.
So you see Kenny Pickett going to the Commanders at pick 11. Now that's one of those things here. Like, no, depending on how a draft falls, I think our potential trade outs are going to get really interesting if somebody wants to come up and get a quarterback, if somebody wants to come up and get one of these receivers that they really like, because like we said, in that 10 to 35 region, all the good receivers are going to be gone, in my opinion. So you see Garrett Wilson going at 13, Olave going at 15. The other thing is corners too. You're not going to get a really top rated corner if you're not picking before 35 either. You're going to be in an also category. Another quarterback going, Matt Corral, 16. There's your Jameson Williams pick at 21.
I had my eye on Trent McDuffie. He's going. I like him a lot. Cornerback.
Guys, I really don't think we need another cornerback this high.
In the second round, Kurt?
Again, you guys have your opinions. I feel like our roster is full of corners right now that could develop into a better secondary, given who we've drafted given who we drafted and given who we've signed in free agency.
DJ Reed is a good addition and helps Bryce Hall, DJ Reed. I think that we have more of a need at safety, even with the Whitehead signing. Dynamic wise, like a Kyle Hamilton pick at 10 would not have been bad to me.
Joyner got re-signed back to a 1-year deal, so
yes,
I
really like
at safety too.
Yeah.
Joyner was somebody that they really wanted. The Robert Saleh, Ulbrich defensive mindset. They wanted Joyner. They went after him. Christian Harris going at 34 is high.
Too high.
In my book. I pick him before I pick Muma before I pick Christian Harris.
Absolutely, especially for the need that we have. Really, to me, is at the Mike linebacker. To me.
So you know what? So whose turn is it next? Then let's talk about it from that perspective. With the number 35 pick, I believe Kerry, you're first up at bat. Kyle is the tiebreaker, I believe, right?
Correct.
Yep.
That was just the last tiebreaker. No, it's Brian, right?
No, and this Kyle.
Kyle, there we go.
Can you move down, Kyle, a little bit as far as the available players?
Sure. Do you want me to go to a certain position, or do you want to just see the BPA?
Just see the board.
Yeah, I need the top of the board.
Wow, Jabo's there. Boy is there.
You just brought up Ajabo, so let's talk about that for a second. How do people feel about where Ajabo should go based on the Achilles injury? I mean, I like him enough that I would draft him and wait.
I would draft him in the second round, hands down.
He's a top 20 pick if he doesn't blow out his Achilles.
He's absolutely a top 20, 25 pick. But the issue is that we just picked Kayvon Thibodeau, right? We still have a need at middle linebacker. We still have a need at, in my opinion, tight end, right? We still have a need at safety, and we still have a need at cornerback. To me, all of those needs supersede the need of an additional edge in the second round.
Okay, I think that is that's a good argument to make. I think that and there are guys that we like. I know that Brian and I like specifically that are going to be probably available to us maybe in the next pick or the pick after that. If we did want to double up on edge, I like throwing. I like getting a lot of quality edges in this draft because I think they're there.
Mm-hmm.
when as usually you're not getting somebody that's that quality at 35 plus. I don't agree that we particularly have a tight end need right now. We just signed 2 tight ends in free agency that are going to be our 1 and 2. So whoever
I agree with that.
Whoever we draft is going to be a 3 at best, unless he overachieves, and then it makes our free agent signings look crappy.
Yeah.
I think that tight end is more of a want than a need right now if we want to go with those 3 tight end packages. We also moved Lawrence Cager to tight end, if you guys didn't remember that,
Right.
as a developmental player.
Thanks for reminding me.
And I kind of like that idea because I like Cager. I think that D tackle is more of a need than maybe you guys do.
No, I agree. I agree. Absolutely.
And I think that
that's all.
I think that there's value right here in Devontae Wyatt at 36. I think that Devontae Wyatt is kind of lost in the sauce a little bit with the Trayvon Walkers and how good that Georgia defense is. So I'm going to go with Devontae Wyatt.
Hold up your card so the audience can see. Yes, sir. With
as my pick. I think it's I think I'm gonna come off the share screen right now. I'm gonna come with Devontae Wyatt. It's a best player available pick for me, and I think that it once again shores up my defense and puts it in a neat area. And that's a close. I would maybe go Chad Muma, but Devontae Wyatt's value at that point, potentially somebody to really, really team up with Quinnen Williams. I'm going to go with that pick.
Nice. All righty.
Before you continue, why would you pick him over Perrion Winfrey?
Maybe unfamiliarity with body of work. Now, sell me on Winfrey. Remind me, is that Oklahoma that Winfrey's from?
He's Oklahoma. He's got more of a. He's not a space eater per se. He's a more up the field, and to me, right. And to me, who did you pick again?
Devontae Wyatt.
Devontae Wyatt is a up the field kind of guy too. He's not really a space eater per se. He's to me he's a poor man's. Actually, both of them are a poor man's version of Quinnen Williams. In that they're gap shooters, they're up the field. They can play the run, but I think our defense needs a space eater kind of guy. I think those kind of guys at defensive tackle you can get lower down in the draft. But again, I'm not gonna. The guy you picked, I'm not going to argue. He's a great athlete, but I think he'll contribute more in the pass rush game than he will in the run game.
Running game.
Whoever this defensive tackle is that we pick here, whether it's Winfrey or Wyatt, we're looking for somebody who's going to take the place of Fatukasi.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and Fatukasi didn't do exactly what we needed him to do, and what we need this position to be is that space eater that's not trying to shoot gaps and play himself out of position. Right. So that's just my opinion of it.
It's one technique. Yeah.
So who's next?
Kerry's next.
All right, I'm Chad Muma. I'm not even gonna play with y'all. Chad Muma. I need a 3-down mic. And yeah, I could pick him at 38, but I'm not wasting my time on somebody else who's thinking the same thing. Right?
Show your draft card, baby. Show it, baby.
Sorry. I wasn't even thinking. I was like,
you fired up.
Where's my Sharpie?
That's all right. Well, listen, man.
Hey,
I love it.
There you go.
Hey, tell everybody a little bit more about Chad Muma for those that don't know.
Right. So Chad Muma was like a 6'2", 6'3", 242 guy that eats up the middle. He takes on blockers. He's not as much of a coverage guy in the middle, but he's capable, right? And we haven't had that middle linebacker that is just the take on the block space eater that we've needed for a period of time. I know we talk about who's. I'm sorry, right now the names leave me right now, but
Talk about
the linebacker we have right now. That
TJ Mosley.
Right. So Mosley was playing Mike at some point in transition to the outside. During I think it was last year, lost all that weight last year, or the
he played lighter this year. So this year,
lighter this year,
35.
right? And I feel like he has the ability to play that outside position. I'm talking about Mosley. If we draft someone who can play in the middle. And I think that Chad Muma is that guy. He's a safe day 2, day 3 pick that we have a specific need of. We signed last year Jordan Davis.
Gerard Davis.
Yeah, he's already
Right.
back with Detroit, right?
Right. We signed right. He's already back with Detroit, and he was hurt for a significant period of time. And I think Quincy Williams was actually playing that Mike position, and if we have him backing up Chad Muma, or them competing to start, and hopefully Chad Muma taking over, then look, I feel like he's the guy, and he has the ability to rush the passer from the middle. So at 35, absolutely. And I don't want to wait till 38 to pick him. So that's my argument.
I hear you, B. It's my turn now, right? I forget. I think it is.
No, I think it. Who's the tiebreaker on this one?
I am.
So and then you ended up going first, right?
Is that what happened there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's all good. So go ahead, B. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. So, Kerry, I concur. I'm going Chad Muma, linebacker out of University of Wyoming. I read a little bit more about him as well. He was a former DB in high school. He's 6'3", 242. So he does have the range to be able to, drop back and to cover some stuff. I mean, the guy's tenacious. He reads blocks well. So he'll meet up with the offensive guards or tackles, engage with them, disengage, and make the tackle. He knows how to shoot the gaps, just like what you were saying. And he just looks like just a very solid, sharp linebacker, just football player all around. And we need that. We need that in the middle of our defense. I was on him early. I watched tape on him early. I've been talking about him early. You know what I mean? And I'm still with him. And he's rising up in stock on the draft board. So at the number 35 position, I'm gonna grab him now, and I'm gonna show you guys who to grab at 38 because I got something for you. But Chad Muma, linebacker out of Wyoming, first pick for us in the second round. We need it. Let's go defense.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, what say you?
Hey, so for me, it's Chad Muma as well.
Oh,
Chad Muma as well. How about that? How about that? So listen, we need linebackers, plural, out of this draft. Just like wide receivers, we need linebackers out of this draft. And so for me, somebody you can plug in the middle. What was his counterpart last year was the year before, Logan Wilson, who played for the Bengals, who was just mopping things up, right? So if this guy can be that guy, I mean, man, that's exactly who we need as part of our defense.
And all the viewers at home, what Brian means by counterpart, that was his teammate. Logan Wilson was his teammate at the University of Wyoming, playing linebacker.
Yep.
So, pretty good tree.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely a good tree there, man. We need to again up the middle. Our run defense was horrible. Run fits were terrible. We need somebody that's going to be a quarterback of the middle of that defense, and that could be him, C.J. Mosley. And again, for me, I need a rush linebacker too, right? That's the one thing that we're missing, and hopefully there's somebody we can pick up later on in the draft. But that's my guy, definitely.
All right, we're going back to the share screen.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
So that means we're going with Chad Muma. Kyle was outvoted in that one. We respect it, though. Yeah, I see where your head is, Kyle.
I'm
But
fine with it.
I ain't really
Uh,
respect it though, to be honest
Yep.
with you.
And
I
I'm
like-
sure Kyle respects where we're coming from as well, and he just articulated that.
I
By the
got
way,
no,
Kyle,
I got no respect for any of you.
No doubt. and I didn't go tight end, Kyle, with the number 35 pick. So there.
Well, there's still
Well,
there's still 38.
I see you queuing it up right there.
I see you coming.
Come now, selector with the
I see
Trey
you
McBride at
Let's go.
38.
All right.
Quietly, if we get Chad Muma, I will be so hyped. And to me, it would be the most pivotal acquisition that we have in this draft.
Wow.
Could have the potential to be in terms of improving the defense overall. It's like, again, if you have the quarterback of the defense, which he potentially could be, then that's like drafting Wilson.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kyle. I'm gonna need you to open up the defensive available players.
Before you do that, just scroll all the way up to who's the top all available. And give me a couple seconds.
So your guy Perrion Winfrey just went 37 to the Cowboys. So
and they
so
traded to get him.
They traded up to get him. But I'm not mad. I still think that Wyatt's there at 36 in the PFN rankings.
Ajabo's still there too.
Ajabo's still there too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do you want me to what do you want me to pull up, Brian? It's you. You're on the clock, Brian. So
okay. All right, so that's fine. Let me see the available safeties.
Oh, giving it away without trying to give it away.
Give it away. Give it away.
I didn't say I was picking one yet. I'm just, I'm just looking around, baby.
Right.
And then hit offense for me for a second.
That's a bluff move, but it's all good.
All right, I'm good. If anybody else needs to do their little views.
I know where I'm going.
I really don't know where I'm going.
So Brian is next, right? Is it Brian? Because I already forgot the order already. I'm bugging. I'm already fired up and I forgot.
Yeah. And I'll. I mean, listen. I'm ready to pick if you want me to pick too. So
don't pick yet. Don't pick yet. I'm still looking. Go back to defense, please.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
You sound excited.
When's our next pick after 38?
69.
59 or 69?
69. That's the top of the third. That means I gotta get my guy now because he's not gonna be there at 6'9". So I'm gonna get my guy now.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Brian.
All right.
Yeah,
so going with. I've been on this guy for a long time, man. So I'm going with Arnold Ebiketie. Edge, Penn State.
Wow.
So again, I think we need multiples of what we have going on. We really need to get that NASCAR package, as Kerry mentioned early on, that the Giants used to have back in the day. And so we need multiple edge rushers, right? And if Carl Lawson doesn't come back as 100%, then, we got Thibodeau on one side, and then who's going to be on the other side? But if we have Carl coming back 100%, we got Thibodeau over there, and then you got Arnold coming in as well. I would love to see all three of them coming in and trying to rush the quarterback. So that is my selection at number 30.
All right.
Deal with it.
Okay. I forget who's next, but
doesn't matter at this point. Roll with it. I got the
All right, I'll go.
tiebreaker. I know who Kyle's picking. So I mean, you might as well just keep going.
I mean, if you're thinking that I'm going to pick who I picked before, think twice on that.
What?
We're in a
who's
different
next?
situation now.
So who's next? Is it Kyle or is it me?
Doesn't matter.
It's
Somebody
you.
jump in there.
All right,
It's you. It's you. Go for it.
I'm gonna go just to keep things moving. We got to keep it moving. All righty. So this is the guy that I'm gonna surprise you guys with this one. All right, Kyle. I'm not gonna go tight end. You know, I feel like our tight end room is good. Just like how I love Tyler Linderbaum, but the room is good because they didn't get rid of who I wanted to get rid of, and the 2 free agent acquisitions made our tight end room so much better. But you know what needs to be improved? And it's what Brian and Kerry and you were talking about. It's the space eater position, okay? He's not going to be there at number 69 when we pick. So I'm going to draft this guy early. If you want him, you go and get him. And here is my guy right here. Big man, Travis Jones.
I knew you were going to say that.
Defensive tackle out of UConn. All righty, 6'4", 325 pounds. The kid is a beast. The kid is a big man, and we need that space eater in the middle to help offset opening up for Quentin Williams and our defensive ends that we have. And also, I see where you're going with that defensive end out of Penn State, Brian, and you were saying who are we going to put there? Let's not forget about John Franklin Myers, who we have as the other defensive end, who is really good, who hurt his hip last year, so didn't get to come off the way that he was projected to come off. And I fully believe that Carl Lawson will be fully recovered from his Achilles because it happened in camp. I mean, like, look at Kevin Durant. He blew out his Achilles. He's good. Back in the day, remember when Lawrence Taylor blew out his Achilles and came back and played and still had like 10.5 sacks the year after? And this is back when there were the medical advances that we have today were not around. So I fully expect that Carl Lawson will be back. We already drafted Kayvon Thibodeau, John Franklin Myers. Now we need somebody doing what Foley should have been doing last year. All righty? And that is Travis Jones, defensive tackle out of UConn, 6'4", 325. Athletic and a space eater.
Okay. Who's next?
Am I next?
Yeah, go ahead, Kerry.
Okay, so I'm conflicted because I do believe that we need a defensive tackle here to shore up this defense. I think we need a safety, but I think we can get a safety. We can acquire a safety at 69. But I am going to do something that I typically will not do, that I abhor, and that is to agree with Brandon.
He says he abhors it.
What did you call me? What did you call me?
You funny. No. You said that you abhor it.
All right. What did you call me again? What did you call me again? Whatever. So here are my reasons, right? Devontae Wyatt is a great tackle, as per our coach here. But I think we need a space eater, not a space heater, but a space eater.
But then again,
that Fatukasi did not understand the assignment. And although he is also from UConn, we hope that he does not make the same mistakes as Fatukasi did.
Wait, is this dude 6'5", 333 pounds?
Yes.
Whiz.
Right. We need somebody. We need somebody like that in our lives.
Wow. I had 6'4", 325. So he's an inch taller and 8 pounds heavier.
That's what it looks like.
That happened a few weeks ago, I heard. But yeah. So those that's my reasoning at this position. And again, I think we really need another safety to sort of give us the depth that we require. But I think we can acquire safety at 69 in the third round.
Interesting. All right,
What up,
Kyle, bring us home.
Yeah, Cap.
Sorry,
What's up,
I muted because the dog was barking.
Okay.
This is a rough one, fellas. And I have 2 cards in front of me that I just wrote out.
Right. Because as you talk, you're going to convince yourself either way. That's what's going to happen.
Well, the thing is, because I know what you guys already picked. I know that if I put in one card, it's going to put one thing into effect,
Right.
and if I put in the other card, it's going to put the other thing into effect.
Fair.
So I'm kind of gonna walk through my thought process here. I do think there's a possibility that Travis Jones is there at 69. It's probably a 15% possibility, but it exists. And there is the big defensive tackle from Alabama.
There's a couple more left in there.
That is there that could be got down there. I do like the Devontae Wyatt kid, but so I mean my consistency tells me to go with that pick. But I know if I go with that pick, the pick's Travis Jones because you guys will have majority.
Strategy.
Wait, hold on. Who's the deal breaker in this one?
Me, baby.
Arnold.
Brian's
Brian's the deal breaker. So if I go Devontae Wyatt, it really doesn't matter because it's not a tie. But if I go Arnold, it is a tie, and it's going to go Arnold because it's Brian's tiebreaker.
Yeah, buddy.
So I'm just gonna talk around that a little bit. So Arnold Ebiketie has risen up my board in the last week or two. When you see this guy come off the edge, he's very much like Thibodeau. And he has that thing to his game, which is he gets the ball out of the quarterback's hand. There's one time he comes around the corner and he does like a double swat to get the ball out, which is like it's a next level elite hand stuff for a pass rushing D line or linebacker D end. Really like him. I think that he's going to even be better than college. So he's on the come up. And
last year, I mean, if he's better than 18 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles, I mean,
you just had to read that one off, didn't you? Huh?
I did.
I like my premier guys in the tackles for loss to be more in the 20s. With that, like you look at some of these like elite guys coming out of college, especially when they play the Villanovas and the the Sam Houston States and stuff like that. Those stats should be jutted up. But the 9.5 sacks is what really got me in the Big Ten, and not going against bad competition. So as much as I like Devontae Wyatt for the value there, I don't think Arnold will be available at later on. And I do like the draft and stash Ajabo idea as well, but I like Arnold enough that I would I'm gonna put in the card for him.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
And you know where I'm going. Tiebreaker, Arnold.
All righty, Mr. Tiebreaker. There we go. So
all right, Arnold. Well, are you ready? This is the point where Joe Douglas calls up and says, AK, you ready to be a New York Jet? Yes, sir. I am. Coming off the edge.
That's
with
right.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
That's right.
Oh, Devontae Wyatt goes next pick to Chicago Bears.
Let's see it, though.
Oh, you're not
Share the
seeing
screen.
it,
Yeah.
My bad.
We'll scroll down for it, though, for the effect.
I got a lot of windows going here, guys.
I'm sure.
All right, Travis Jones goes at 60, so I was wrong.
Ah!
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets were thinking the same way as Brandon and Kerry are thinking, because Travis Jones was at the Senior Bowl with them the whole week.
Right.
So if anybody knows Travis Jones, it's the New York Jets.
Mike Jones.
Oh, Trey McBride just went 60.
Yeah, taking the controls out of Brandon's hand. Sorry, buddy.
No, We're just stomping on dreams over here. The Colorado State.
Got it.
That's what we do.
Okay,
All right. So
all right,
let me. Can I see offense for a second, Kyle?
sure. And for those who aren't looking at offense right now, we're looking at Wyatt, Sam Howell going to the Seahawks at pick 40, and then Boye.
I like
think,
Boye.
Yeah. Desmond
Woo!
Ritter going to the Indianapolis Colts.
Brandon Smith, linebacker. He's more talent than proven body of work. Linebacker out of Penn State. May even have been lifted up a little bit because of the success of Parsons, but we'll see how how it pans out.
So it looks like the Kansas City Chiefs will draft and stash Ajabo as he recovers. Brees Hall,
Good luck to him.
another really good player.
Yep.
For somebody who's looking for a linebacker. Nick Benito, a very polarizing defensive end.
Speed,
very skinny, light.
Alec Pierce went number 58 to the wide receiver needy Falcons. I like Alec Pierce a lot.
Fedarian Mathis was the Alabama D tackle that I was talking about before.
Yeah, but he's not that big. I think he's only 290.
Oh, I was under
Can you
the
hit all? Can you hit the all button? I just want to see rank from top to bottom there. Okay, can you scroll for me, brother? Hey, Kerry, you're the tiebreaker, I believe.
Do I go last?
Yeah, go last.
Yep.
I mean, I'm ready to rock and roll. So
let me.
I'm not because I can't see. I need to see the go to the top of all, please.
Hold on a second. Just getting us down to where we are. You're the top of all you need. There you go. Okay, just recapping. We have gotten 2 edges in this draft. Need area, quality. We have gotten 1 wide receiver. And and 1 linebacker in Chad Muma. Okay, so we've gone 3 picks on defense and 1 pick on offense.
By the way, Kyle, when you were talking about Dunn, the tight end you were looking at as far as Nevada, it looks like it's the wide receiver from Nevada, Romeo Dubes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mixing up my names.
All good, man. There's a lot of people, man, that we have to consider.
Did you guys know that I'm looking at the Jets roster right now, current signed players? And did you guys know that we signed Greg Sinat?
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah. The tackle?
Yeah, 4th year pro out of Wagner, who is not a bad signing. I don't know what his PFF numbers are. Maybe Brian, you could look and find that, but I think he was on. I think he was on the Jaguars.
Was he
before? I want to say.
All right, so let's keep this moving.
Also, we signed at some point. We signed Ross Piercebacker, who I think used to be the center for Alabama.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, he's a 2nd year pro at Alabama. Who was the guy that got drafted from Alabama last year?
Humphreys. No, he was Oklahoma. He was the guy with the blown out ACL. Ended up playing well too. Forget his name.
Yeah, I think Piercebacker was the center before him, if I'm not mistaken. It has him down as OL, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm ready to go first if nobody else is ready to go, or if y'all.
I'm not ready to go yet. Give me a second.
All right.
Can you go to the defensive tackles, please?
Can.
You wait, Kerry.
Big drop off between 84 and 113.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Haskell Garrett is a tall guy, isn't he? Isn't Haskell Garrett more of a
6'2",
6'2"?
300.
Yep. I got somebody in mind if he's still there when we hit what is it, 114?
Okay, you can go to the overall all, please. And then we're done.
Okay.
Oh, I know exactly. Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, Brian.
You want me to go?
Brian's first.
All right.
Yeah, you can go
All
ahead.
right. So, like Noah's Ark, I mentioned this as a theme. We need two of a couple of different things. And this is staying true to that. I'm going wide receiver George Pickens from Georgia. So I'm going this guy. He's 6'3", ran a 4.47 at the combine. He tore his ACL, I think it was 2020 or was that 2021 early, but ended up coming back. And for me, again, getting Zach Wilson, multiple weapons. One of the reasons why you want to go this route. He's 6'3". We got Drake London, so that kind of from a height perspective, speed perspective, I think it puts you in a different situation if you got Garrett Wilson, right? I think this is kind of a better fit, but I still think it is a fit nonetheless. Now, the superlatives that Pro Football Focus put on a couple of different players here, they had, best at the catch point, Drake London. They had best after the catch, Treylon Burks. And what this guy had as his superlative, best hands. And that's what you need from a wide receiver with a second-year quarterback. So he had 2 drops out of 92 catchable targets for his career. Good enough for the lowest drop rate in this draft class. And again, he wasn't just catching, screens and all that kind of stuff. His per yard average was 15.4 yards. So again, the stats, especially this past year, are not going to represent that. He has some injuries during the college career that kind of derailed what his numbers would look like ultimately. But the guy can catch the ball. He's fast. He's tall. So for me, that's the pick at number 69.
Okay. Who's next?
I'm
I'm
not
the
ready.
tiebreaker, right?
Huh?
Yeah, you're the
Might as
tiebreaker.
Carrier's tiebreaker.
All right. So Kyle, you can go.
Okay. I am going to go maybe a different direction than everybody else is going to go, but I think it's a place of not necessarily immediate need, but in looking forward. I'm going to go with Alec Lindstrom, center out of Boston College. Family lineage, I think his brother plays in the league as well. Boston College tight ends, offensive linemen usually pan out pretty well within the NFL landscape. So, and I think that helps to bolster us a little bit more on offense. We've been going really heavy defense. There's a wide receiver that I like that I think that we can get later on that has similar stats to what
George Pickens.
to what Brian was just saying with Pickens, as far as like his ability to get things done efficiently. But we'll see if that guy's still available later on. I'm gonna go with Lindstrom.
All right, Kyle. Great job. I was going back and forth, and I'll be very honest with you, Kyle. Your pick, because I had 2 guys on my list, helped me solidify the pick that I was going to make and how you explained it. I was debating between safety and, of course, addressing the O-line because I know that I want to see a certain someone kind of graduate onwards after this year since we haven't done it already.
Did you say graduate onwards? That's funny.
Yeah. So basically, I was was highly considering. I already wrote it down. I had Leon O'Neal, safety out of Texas A&M, on my draft card, right? But I'm going to tear that up. I'm going to tear it up. Tear it up. Tear it up. Just like Denzel in Glory. Tear it up. All right? And I'm going to go with and affirm what Kyle stated and go with Alec Lindstrom, center out of Boston College. I think we need it. It's not an immediate necessity, but I think it's necessary nonetheless. It adds us more interior depth.
Yeah, we do need depth. We do.
He can learn behind McGovern, who I want to see go. And he does have a family lineage, a brother, and I believe a father that has played in the NFL and at the same position, I believe, as well. So that to me says that he is teachable and coachable. And he may not be the physical specimen that Linderbaum is, but it's at least, you get in that NFL, training and you get that NFL coaching. And I believe that he can be a solid starting center in the NFL and, protect my quarterback, right? Protect my quarterback and communicate with my quarterback and communicate with the offensive line. Call out the blocking schemes. Be a leader. Be smart. Be headsy about it. And I trust that he'll be that way. So I'm going with Alec Lindstrom, center out of Boston College as well. And you know what? Leon Jr. I'm sorry, Leon O'Neal Jr. I like him. He hits hard. He's known for hitting hard, and he'll pick the ball off on you. But his 40 time isn't all that. And I need someone with more range playing that safety position.
Can I bring something into that argument right there? Like I said, we're copacetic on the pick, but with all the rest of these safeties in the draft, are they better than Ashton Davis? That's the question. Ashton Davis, in his sample size, when he's been healthy, has not been terrible. And
I kind of disagree. He's looked below average, to be honest with you, in a lot of the film that I've watched. I think we need. Huh?
I would have taken Brisker over him. I like Brisker a lot.
Oh, 100%.
But he was already gone.
Yeah, there's some talented safeties out here. I just feel like we right now we're in the middle of where between safeties right now as far as draft and where they comp as far as where they're going to be drafted. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, if we're looking to look with the free agent safety we signed and all that, and we're looking to potentially bring in somebody because we think that Ashton Davis isn't good enough at safety, it might be time to change Ashton Davis to slot corner or corner because he did come in with that skill set. And if he's not going to be 4 deep at safety, then find something else for him to do or cut him loose.
I mean, listen, we needed depth at safety. I mean, you saw what happened this last year. We got ravaged by injuries, and then we were just pulling people out of different other rooms in order to put somebody out there. So I'm okay with leaving Ashton out there as a safety and having him battle out the rookie. At the end of the day, listen, 3 out of the 4 of these should be battling for a job.
Makes sense.
Joyner just coming off injury too. So to me, you draft somebody, you have 3 of the 4 out of them, battling for a job. You only have 1 starter that you just signed as a free agent. That's
Whitehead's your starter.
Exactly.
Everybody else is battling.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree. And just like what Bill Parcells says, he gives people 3 years to show them what they've got, and after that, he's like, all right, you got to move on. So this is his 3rd year, and I'm still TBD on Ashton. I almost called him on Ashton Davis.
Well,
I love it. I love it.
I mean, we're going backwards a little bit, but I mean, if somebody like Kyle Hamilton falls to 10, or you have like a bad beat on the first 3 picks in the draft, Whitehead and Kyle Hamilton.
Oh, that's
pretty that's pretty impressive. And I'll tell you right now, if Kyle Hamilton is available to Bill Belichick, he's picking him.
Oh yeah.
By any means necessary, because he has that philosophy that you build from the middle on that defense. So I mean, the thing with Kyle Hamilton is like a little bit of trigger residue from Jamal Adams, but at the same time, he's a good player, and
listen, the
who
dude
knows what's going.
wasn't Jamal Adams an All Pro? I mean, I
Yeah,
mean,
he was.
Yeah, so the pick worked out. It's just we weren't good.
We don't have him.
We don't have him. We traded him for something good. I mean, the asset turned it into a bigger asset, and we're still reaping the benefits. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, Kerry, it's your turn, brother.
So here's the deal, guys. I think you're all wrong.
Oh,
And now we're getting to the real deal.
I think you're all wrong. As I've always said to you guys, you don't trade. We're not in a position to replace a very good player with a potentially good player.
Who's a very good player?
And who's replacing him?
No, he's not.
McGovern.
He's not.
That's a debate for another day, right? So he's the top 1/3 center in this league. Is he not? Yes or no?
No.
You know what? You know what? This is why I said what I said earlier. I want to agree with you. I don't. I really don't. Right? So I'm not. Here's me not doing that. And I know what you're gonna say. And I know what you're gonna say, Coach. You're gonna say, well, this is a depth situation, right? You're drafting Lindstrom, to improve your depth so that he will eventually take over. Is that what you're gonna say?
There's only 1 year left on McGovern's contract.
I understand that, but again, we need players now. We're not waiting another year. I'm tired of people saying, wait till next year. Without using curse words, screw next year, right? I'm talking about this year. Impact players, 3rd round, right now. Not necessarily for depth purposes. I want you to start. I want you to have the ability to start. I want you to have the ability to have a significant impact on this team. And Lindstrom isn't it.
Point taken.
Right?
So
What is your Petrie? What is this Petrie guy that you're talking about? So I'm sorry, not him. Who's the junior guy that Brian was talking about?
I was talking about
safety. Safety.
At safety.
Leon O'Neal Jr.
Right.
Safety out of Texas A&M.
So look, we got a bunch of safeties on this roster right now, right? We have one that we signed in free agency. We have Jason Pinnock, who transferred from cornerback to safety. He played well towards the later half of the season.
Forgot about that.
We have a safety that's coming back from injury, right? And we have a safety that we drafted, 2 years ago, right? So the safety that we're drafting in the 3rd round is again another depth piece per se, right? We need an impact player. So what I'm saying to you is we draft who I've been talking about, Isaiah Spiller, running back out of Texas A&M, who is a do-it-all back, who can run in between the tackles, who, again, somebody that I've been canvassing for, a type of player that I've been canvassing for at least 2 years. Am I right or wrong? 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
right?
You're right in what you've been, asking for and everything. But
your time is over. Your time is over. So my point is this.
I don't think you should draft it.
My point is this. Look, I need weapons for my quarterback. I need more weapons for my quarterback, right? And this guy is that, right? He moves the sticks.
So is he your starter, or is it Michael Carter is your starter?
Again,
I'm asking.
In this league, you need 2 starting running backs.
Okay, I don't disagree with that. Well, it's either a committee or you have a starter. So who's coming in first? Who's coming in first? That's all.
We can have Michael Carter start, and then we can have this guy come in between. They can share the load. They could share the load.
Okay.
The teams that have won in this league in the last couple of years that have had success in this league in the last couple of years have had 2 running backs.
I don't disagree with you on that.
So,
hey, Kerry,
that's why I'm saying,
no doubt.
Somebody other than Brandon, right? Whatever, huh?
No, you're the tiebreaker, right? In this round?
Yeah, so the tiebreaker.
Guess what? There's no tie, kid.
I know.
At number 69, the New York Jets threw the GMing aficionados of the
Of
BKBK.
the former offensive lineman.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, what a surprise.
Nick Lindstrom, center.
What a maroon.
Boston College. Woo. All right. So now we're moving on to what's the next pick for us?
117,
14?
114.
Oh, Fafeli just went. I like Fafeli too.
He's too big. I don't want him.
He's gigantic. He's like the mountain in Game of Thrones.
I got another guy I'm looking at, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I like Leo Chanel too, by the way.
Isaiah Spiller goes to
the
New
Patriots.
Oh, Gary's mad. He's mad. He goes to the Pats. Greg Dolchik goes to Kansas City. I like that kid Troy Anderson, linebacker out of Montana State too.
I like the kid Gunter, but we already picked two edges, so
Yeah.
that wasn't happening anyway.
Jake the Snake Ferguson.
Okay.
All right, here we are.
I need the all the way up. Go way up.
Okay. I know
We are all the way up at this point.
Okay. Cool. All the way up.
What do you guys know about Hinton?
Man, stop stealing my thunder.
Well, I'm asking you. You can go first and tell us.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, we know who you're picking. Can we look defense for a sec, Mr. McKenna?
Now I'm looking at depth at all these positions at this point.
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
Ew.
Seen more than one of you pick Nick Cross in mock drafts.
Scroll down for me. All right, I'm good.
I need it all. I need back to all, please.
Ding.
While you guys deliberate, I'm stepping to the restroom because we've been on for an hour and a half. I'll be right back.
That's the extent of your bladder.
Yep, especially when I'm drinking this much water.
I'm the tiebreaker now.
I'm the captain.
I'm the tiebreaker. Kerry goes first.
So now we're gonna have some decorum.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Take that.
Fifth round, fourth round.
Fourth round. Pick 111.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta look at the
So it's going to be Kerry, then Brian, then Kyle, then me. Kyle stepped away, huh?
Mm-hmm.
and I want to see what's going on first before he.
Ooh.
Oh man, this.
I don't know if I can pick this dude with this dude on the board. Hold on a second now. Hold on a second now. Now with homeboy up there.
Who's going first here?
Me.
It's Kerry. It's Kerry, then Brian, then you. I'm the tiebreaker. I'm the tiebreaker.
Can you go to safeties, please?
I can.
Oh yeah.
And we pick again at 117, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, I'm good.
All right, bet. All right, man. We've been here for a while, so go ahead, Kerry. Lead it off, kid.
So you know, I think this is the time that we
Back to all, Kyle.
Gotcha.
time that we look at depth, right? At the positions. Although I really want a significant BAM running back at 111, I'm going to choose Nick Cross out of Maryland at safety. Again, for the reasons that I talked about earlier, in that, in the fourth round, I'm looking for depth pieces. Safety is a position where it's really in flux. We have several pieces that can take the mantle of starter on a longer term basis. But this guy, from what I understand, is a playmaker, utilizing his size and his speed at 6 foot 212 to come downhill and make tackles, and also make some plays in coverage. Because I don't see a running back here in the fourth round that I'm really high on, under the radar kind of guy that's going to have the impact as Isaiah Spiller would have had at 69.
Okay.
And he's going, by the way, after we missed on him.
All right.
Hmm.
So you pulled up your draft card for us.
I did. I think I did. I'll do it again.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Nick Ross. Yep. All right, safety. All right, Brian, go ahead, B. It's your turn.
All right, so I mean, this is where we tend to vary the most, right, as far as our picks are concerned, and where we want to go with things. So I'm just a pick late from where Kerry was as far as going after that running back, and for me, that running back is James Cook out of Georgia. So I like him because he can catch the ball at the backfield. He can obviously run it, average over 6 yards a carry, I think his entire career as well. Part-time back. So I think he'll work well with Michael Carter in that role. But I think they're interchangeable as far as you don't know if you're putting in, James Cook, is he going to catch it out of backfield? Is he going to run it? Same thing with Michael Carter. But I think Michael Carter is probably a little bit a better runner and not as strong a pass catcher out of the backfield. Does help that he's Dalvin Cook's brother, so he has a little pedigree there as well. But for me, we need that running back depth. I'm just one pick later from where Kerry was as far as who I wanted to draft. So for me, it's James Cook.
What's his height and weight, B?
5'11", I think 190.
Right. So he's another guy that's out of the backfield, more twitchy guy, not a change of pace. Correct.
So he is. Let me see. So he had 1,000 yards from scrimmage last year. Most of that was out of the backfield. It wasn't even 50-50. Most of that was, actually 5'11", 200. Sorry, but most of that was running. But he did have like 350 yards receiving. I'll give you no. Dang, I had the wrong thing. The exact is he had 728 yards rushing. He had 284 yards receiving. He had 11 total touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So,
all right. Okay.
Sounds like Michael Carter.
Yeah, I mean, so to me, as long as you have somebody, again, you want to tip your hand and you say you have a bruiser that's going to come in first and second down, or you want somebody that, regardless of when they're coming in, you don't know what we're doing. That's kind of where I'm at with it. If he can run in between the tackles, great. and he averaged 6.5 for his career. So, just my thought.
All right, Kyle, you're up next.
Okay, my pick is Wandale Robinson, wide receiver, University of Kentucky. So, just as Brian is a real big fan of PFF, I'm a big fan of Michael Nania and the analytical stuff on JetX Factor. And they did something a few weeks ago, which was an analytical mock draft where they just went on the best numbers that people had. It's kind of funny too because their first two picks were with the analytics was Thibodeau and Drake London, and pick 3 was Devontae Wyatt. So you can see kind of where I'm getting at with that. But what they wrote about Wandale Robinson is that he led FBS wide receivers in yards per route while handling over 100 targets. So he's kind of like a Tyreek Hill in that he's small, super athletic, and particularly good at on screens. So it's another one of those weapons to add for Zach Wilson that could be a real disruptive thing. Especially when you have Elijah Moore on your team, Braxton Berrios, and you added a Drake London to the room in the beginning of the draft. So I like what Robinson brings to the table. He's small, but very, 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 very good. Also led all Power 5 receivers in missed tackles forced on screens. So we're getting really deep into the analytics here. But I'm going Wandale Robinson, wide receiver, Kentucky.
Kyle, do me one solid. Let me just see that screen again and click on linebacker for me, please.
Yeah, give me a second.
Yes, sir.
See it?
I see it.
Quay is there.
Mm-hmm. And then I have. All righty. So I'm going to go linebacker here. I'm just not sure which one out of the two I'm going to go with. But I'm going to be deliberate and make the decision and go with the better program here because I like these guys both. I like Darian Beavers a lot from linebacker out of Cincinnati. Let's remember, guys, that I think Mosley's last year is going to be this year because his cap hit gets a lot easier to digest after this year. So we have to keep him this year, and I hope he plays extremely well. But knowing Joe Douglas, he's a frugal dude, as we've seen, and he's probably going to, if we can't re-sign him for something much cheaper or whatever, he's probably going to let him go. And I think Mosley's going to be hitting age 30 this year as well, if he's not there already. I don't remember offhand.
He's the highest paid player on the Jets at
Exactly.
$18 million a year.
At inside linebacker, Joe Douglas isn't going to do that. He's just not. He'd rather pay a cornerback, a D end, a quarterback, you know what I mean? That kind of a money than, say, the inside linebacker.
Or a wide receiver.
Or wide receiver, yeah, especially in this new market now that's been reset like 2-3 times already during the offseason.
Well, and to your point, and I'll let you get to it. So the dead cap for C.J. Mosley this year would be $20 million.
Yeah.
Dead cap for 2023 would be $3 million.
Yeah, thank you. You're just basically, putting the battery in my back to really
before you choose.
Go ahead.
Remember, we've already chosen an inside linebacker.
That is correct.
Right?
And and we need more.
And somewhat of a rush linebacker
Mike,
too.
We picked.
Yeah.
What?
We didn't pick a Jonathan Vilma, Mike. We picked a thumper.
Right.
A Fred Warner type.
Yeah. And I don't even look at Fred Warner as a thumper. He's a rangy kind of a guy,
He's not small, though.
He's what?
He's not small.
He's not small, but he's like 6'3", maybe a little under 240.
Who's that?
Fred Warner, the all-pro linebacker out of the 49ers.
Right.
And they're going to be looking for someone like that in this defense, Just like before that, they had that insane linebacker in San Francisco. A couple of them actually.
Brandon Moore.
Yeah, yeah, man. But you know what? I'm gonna go for Quay Walker, linebacker out of the University of Georgia. Linebacker because Mosley will not be here, and we're gonna need Chad Muma, who we already picked, I believe, in Quincy Williams. We need him at the weak, and then we're gonna need a Quay Walker playing at the strong. He's a very good linebacker, played in a great system, had a great year. And he's 6'3", 241, around the same size as Chad Muma. And actually, yeah. So wow, there we go. I'm spot on. You know, and he's strong at the point of attack. And he's got a lot of range, and we're gonna need it. You know, and we can get rid of Mosley's contract and have both of these linebackers there for cheap. You know, and coach them up in this defensive scheme that we have here. So it was a close call between Quay Walker and Beavers, who I like a lot. So that's where I'm going. So it's not really a tie. Everyone has their own individual, picks. But since I'm the tiebreaker guy, I'm going to go with my pick because there's no other way. There's no other way around it. So it looks like Team BKBK is drafting Quay Walker
with much trepidation.
Nick, if you read Nick Cross's breakdown here, you could take Nick Cross out and put Ashton Davis.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Where did Ashton Davis go to school? Maryland.
UCLA.
Oh, UCLA.
Cal.
Cal. Okay.
He went to Cal.
Oh, Cal. Cal. My bad. Yeah, he went to Cal.
All right, let's hit him.
All right. Pick number 117, I believe, is up next.
Yes, sir.
Okay, our pick is Quay Walker, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
All right, hold on. So I was the tiebreaker. Kyle, you're the next tiebreaker.
Okay.
I go first, then Kerry, then Brian, then Kyle tiebreaker. All right, so who was picked here? Mathis, Scotton, okay.
Oh, I know what I'm doing. So
where did I just put my pen? There it goes. Beep, 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 beep.
So who's going first? I'm the tiebreaker, but who's going first?
I'm going first.
Okay.
Yeah. The tiebreaker always goes first. It's like a snake.
So come with it then, B.
I'm coming with it right now, man.
Let's go, son.
Yeah. So you know what? I'm finally addressing that defensive tackle position. I am going with the big boy. Let me write it down. I'm going with the big boy defensive tackle. I believe he's like 6'3", 305, or 310. He can play the interior defensive tackle, Chris Hinton, out of Michigan.
Love Michigan.
Yeah, you know that. Big boy out of Michigan, a little bit of a space eater. You know, I really wish that we got my man Travis Jones. So it's a step down, but at this point, we need someone, who can just eat up some space, keep the guards off of the linebackers so that they can just fly free and make their tackles and get some penetration stops when it's called for as well. He's not as athletic as Travis Jones or what have you, but he's still a really good player coming from a really good program, and their defense played very well this year. And look at what his play did to help Ajabo and Hutch on the edges. And that's what I want him to do, is to help out our edges. And we just drafted Thibodeau. We have Carl Lawson. We have John Franklin Myers. So let's eat up some space and free up some space for our edges and playmakers to make some plays. I'm going with Chris Hinton, defensive tackle out of Michigan. And I think he's got a little pedigree there. I think his dad played offensive guard in the league back in like the 90s. I forget his first name, but I think he comes from good stock as well.
All right, the name did sound familiar. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Brian is next.
Am I?
I'm sorry. Kerry is next.
Kerry is next. I'm going back again. Nick Cross, safety, for the reasons I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I'll make this easy. Wandale Robinson, Kentucky, for the reasons I mentioned earlier.
I see how this is going for the rest of the draft.
Crud. Okay. Can we go back to the thing to see who we drafted already? I'm kind of
Yes,
getting fuzzy.
we
on
can do that.
You skip Brian, no, Kyle, because I think you're the.
He's
the
the
tiebreaker.
tiebreaker, but I mean, it doesn't. I didn't go last as the tiebreaker too. One
Okay,
of the times,
Fine.
so,
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we have one, 2, 3, 4 defensive players,
and 2 offensive.
2 offensive.
You got a good looking draft.
But we did sign some offensive players in free agency. So
and last year's draft, right?
Right.
So, listen, I'm gonna side with Kyle and go with Wandale Robinson. Slide a wide receiver right in there at 117.
Thank you, brethren.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
What do you mean, hold on? What do you mean, hold on?
No, because I didn't see it. So once you take the screen down, I want to see it, and I could barely hear him.
Oh, so
He
Wandale
signed-
Robinson, wide receiver, Kentucky.
Okay.
That's what I'm selecting.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
We
So
need
that
weapons,
means-
man, and so I'm.
Well,
I'm
the
going
last
that route.
wide receiver we talked about drafted from Kentucky. We saw what happened with that.
Well,
Jerry's still out on that,
You know, way out.
but he didn't.
He was like a slash. He was doing everything though.
He didn't bet on football and get suspended for a year or anything.
You know,
And then there's that.
right.
and then there's that.
so then our pick is Robinson, huh?
Yep,
That is Nick Cross, baby. 119.
crisscross,
Ravens.
make it jump.
Mm.
Here goes Cole Turner.
Yep.
Chris Henry.
Darian
Chris Henry.
Beaton, my linebacker.
Oh man, the guy that I wanted.
Brian Robinson is who you had your eye on.
I wanted him too, but you know what? There's another one.
You wanted Ridgeway too?
I wanted him too. He was going to be my pick.
Yeah, that's who I'm going. I was going to go for it.
Yep. But you know what? I think my other guy is still there.
Haskins.
Yep.
Okay, I knew you were going to say that too. Another Michigan guy. I like Haskins as the big back, also, but in this area. So I mean, I can make that easy. This is
Hey Brian,
this
as a heads up, you're the tiebreaker, B.
is where I'd
I'll
pick.
go first.
This is where I'd pick a Haskins. The other one is the Iowa running back. Is
Just
he
gonna
still
say
on
that.
the board?
I was just going to say that.
Tyler Goodson.
Yeah.
But he's not big. He's 5'9", 197.
Yeah, I know.
He's greasy.
He's greasy.
Yeah, he's hard to tackle. I don't know if it's this write up or not, but one of them was saying how he's one of the most pro ready. All the requisite attributes you want. And he's very good at creating. But yeah, I see where the size. We are looking for a big back. So Haskins is
Check number
230. So there's your what's the guy from Green Bay that me and you loved Kerry last year?
Came out of BC.
Yeah. Williams. No, Andre Williams was a couple years ago.
Aaron something. Aaron. Nah, I forget. But we know who it is. The big
Yeah.
back out of Green Bay, out of Boston College. Yep. So Kyle, you go first. Actually,
Let me just take a look here at what the safeties remaining look like.
Kyle, then me, then Kerry. Brian's the tiebreaker.
We still haven't gotten a D tackle. But
that is correct.
I'm not seeing a D tackle in this group here that's better than Nate Shepard.
Right.
So I'm willing to forego that. Yeah, I'm going to go with Haskins from Michigan.
Sounds good.
Hassan Haskins, running back, Michigan.
Here we go, big boy. You can clear the screen. Yeah, there we go. All right. Hassan Haskins, big back out of Michigan.
You're picking that too?
Kyle is first. I'm second, and then Kerry's third. Brian's the tiebreaker. So I'm going with Hassan Haskins out of Michigan too. A little thunder and lightning approach, kind of like when they had Brandon Jacobs and Bradway on the Giants back in the day. We can have Carter and we can have Hassan Haskins. You know what I mean? We need that goal line presence there, man, especially with this new tough offensive line that we have.
Who were the two backs that we had when Jones was one of them?
When Thomas Jones was one of them?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't remember.
I see him.
Was it Bilal Powell?
No.
It wasn't.
No, it was a big, like a 6 foot, like big dude, 220.
Yeah.
Forgot his name.
Was it 34? The guy from Maryland?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll look it up. That's what I'm liking. Like an 1,100-yard rusher with a 700-yard rusher next to him. Then you got a good deal.
But he was that dude would take it to the house though. I mean, he'd wear you down. He was a big guy, but he could also take it to the house. Is Haskins that guy? Is my question.
Yeah, he can take it to the house.
Yeah, he can take it to the house.
All right.
There's no more pro running game in college football
In Michigan,
than the University of Michigan.
Well,
it's the San Francisco offense from when Harbaugh was playing, and it's the Stanford offense from when those are power running offenses. So
understandable. He ran a 4.74 in the 40. Just saying. So when we talk,
football speed. Football speed.
Oh boy.
Game speed.
I ran a 4.83 at 235. So we're talking about. Would you put me at running back for the Jets? I don't think so.
Well,
that is not an impressive number.
No, it's not. That's all I'm saying,
no.
fellas. That's all I'm saying. Like if we're gonna put somebody back there, I mean, he's a running back. You got to run sub 4.6. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
that's all I'm saying. But go ahead. Who's ever's next? I'm just that's all I'm throwing out there. 4.74.
You're next. You're next.
Robinson, me and Kerry would have had the running back out of Alabama picked already.
I would have been all in on that pick
if he was
available.
For you.
Yeah, no, it don't.
Well, I'm next? I thought I was a
Kerry's
tiebreaker.
next. Yeah, you're the tiebreaker. Go ahead, Kerry. What's that? Hassan Haskins. Looks like there it is. Wow.
I get my running back. Thank you. Next.
Word. There you go.
Please and thank you. Gotcha.
So go ahead, B. We still want to hear your dissenting opinion.
This is funny. I mean, I was going Haskell Garrett.
Who the heck is that? Defensive tackle out of Ohio State?
Ohio State, yeah. Program, he had 5.5 sacks last year. at the D tackle position and stuff. So I mean, and again, I think he's got enough talent in order to be a rotation piece at D tackle, and potentially get some penetration. But you guys want to run it back that runs a 4.7. It is what it is.
I hear you, but hey, when's the last time you heard of a good defensive tackle coming out of Ohio State? I haven't heard much of that.
I mean, it's been a minute. I'm not a Big Ten fan necessarily versus SEC, but I mean, who is? It is what it is. But I mean,
This guy's
again,
name?
Rascal Flats. I mean, Haskell Garrett.
I'm more of a Big Ten fan anyway.
Rascal Flats.
Rascal Flats.
He's a rascal, all right.
But anyway, it is what it is, man. You got your
All right.
plotting running back. We can move on.
All right.
Okay.
Clear the screen, and I'm not clear the screen. But let's bring up the screen and see where we're going. Was it pick 140 something now or something like that?
That was just 146, no?
146.
Trying to remember who that running back was. He ran wild on San Diego in a playoff game.
That we were talking about?
Was
it?
Maryland running back that played for the Jets.
Well, I don't know who that is.
He ran over Antonio Cromartie.
Wow. Pick Haskell. I mean, not Haskell. Pick
Eddie Haskell.
Yeah, Haskins.
Does anybody get that reference? An Eddie Haskell reference?
We do.
I don't. All righty, so let's see here. Brian was the so now Kyle, it's back to you. No, actually, no, I'm sorry. It's I think it's back to Kerry being the tiebreaker. Yeah, it is.
And Kyle, the running back was Sean Green, by the way.
Sean Green.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, Sean Green.
I want a Sean Green at it. If Hassan Haskins can be Sean Green, I would be.
No. Okay, so now I got to look it up.
Can you go back to who we already picked?
Chris Ivory too.
Chris Ivory was all right.
I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he was a force.
Can you scroll down? Who's the best O lineman that's there? Ranked.
And Sean Green ran a 4.62 in the 40.
A 4.62
4.62, yes.
handheld time.
No, that was digital.
Smoke Monday went. All right.
Smoke Monday is a great name.
It is. So that means Brian goes first because he was just a tiebreaker. And then it's Kyle, and then it's me, and then it's Kerry.
Anybody know why Rambo stock-wise has dropped so much since he was at Oklahoma? Because he was a good player at Oklahoma with C.D. Lamb. And then he transferred to Miami, and I guess he didn't have such a great year there, but they also had De'Ara King get hurt during the year, so they didn't have really consistent quarterback play. I wonder if Charleston Rambo is a potential sleeper. I don't know if anybody has any reasons why not.
I did.
Wow. My mock drafts didn't get this deep.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
Can you go to defensive tackles?
This guy out of Iowa State is the highest ranked one.
Wow.
Yeah, looks like it.
I mean, when we're talking about a 230 rank in D tackle, I signed this guy off the street.
Yeah,
exactly.
Let
Draft. So
me look at cornerback.
We're looking at somebody that we might want to have a choice of, and this Josh Jobe. Why has he fallen so far?
I don't know. I think he's a little light in the butt.
5'11", 182. And then it says down here 6'1", 192.
Right. Look,
Closing the door on him.
I'm against adding even more cornerbacks to this.
Hey, Kyle, can you click on tight end? Let me see who's left.
Peyton Hendershot. That's the name too. Let's find out a little bit about Peyton Hendershot.
What about Derek D's nuts?
Oh, we're in the coming soon part.
Yeah,
of the draft
absolutely.
right now.
Yeah, there's not. Do your own research. That's basically what they're doing.
Get beyond the paywall, and then maybe you'll find out one sentence about how good or bad they are.
All right, go to all.
I got my pick.
About to go best player available here.
All right, go back to all. We're okay with that.
Oh. Yep. Not my guy.
All right, so again, go offense and then go tackles. Let's see what we got here. There you go.
Coming soon.
That's him. Myron
Mhm.
Cunningham,
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
offensive tackle, Arkansas.
I don't even have to put my pick up. That's who I got.
There you go.
And you know what? Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna write it down anyway.
Makes sense.
What pick number is this? Number 146? No, 163.
63. Yeah.
Yeah,
You go best tackle available, guys.
that's right.
Yep.
Going.
Is anybody going to disagree with this? I'm not about to pound on the table for anybody.
Nope.
No.
Nope. I think we're unanimous here. And he's out of Arkansas, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
And he has no write up.
No write up yet. So, Myron Cunningham, 6'5", 320. And I think that's it. We don't have any seventh round picks. Oh, that's
Do we have a sixth
that
round
was
pick?
the fifth round.
Oh, that was the fifth. Oh, wow.
What happens is with all these compensatory picks, it starts to get
Right.
long in the
I don't
tooth.
think we have anything past
Right,
one.
we don't have in six. We don't have in the sixth round.
Wow.
Good.
All right. All right. So, hey, listen.
Let's go back up to and see what we got here.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see what we got.
All right, starting out the show with Thibodeau.
Yep.
We get our edge, who
Yep.
can be a difference maker, paired up with Jonathan Franklin Myers and
Carl Lawson.
Quentin Williams and Carl Lawson. Go to Drake London at 10. Hopefully he'll be the Chase Claypool / Brandon Marshall type receiver.
We want him to be the Mims that Mims was supposed to be. But
little Keyshawn in him?
Come on.
Does he have a little Keyshawn in him?
The USC uniform makes you say Keyshawn.
No. The size,
Michael
body
Pitt.
shape, Gazelle.
The thing I liked about watching Drake London is he doesn't really get tackled. If you watch his highlight film, the only time he goes down is when he falls down.
Former basketball player too.
For a contested ball. Yeah. He doesn't really get tackled. If he gets the ball in space. Good red zone target as well, along with those tight ends that we got. Great addition to the offensive room. I love that pick. Chad Muma, put him in the middle right away, move CJ Mosley over. AK Arnold, another guy that is going to bring tremendous motor and playmaking ability to a potential rotation on the defensive line. Alec Lindstrom, a potential person who could step in and play center or guard potentially in the meantime, solidifying our offensive line. Quay Walker, another linebacker. Wandale Robinson, a more gadgety weapon, Hassan Haskins is our big back.
Big back, thunder to the lightning.
And we are closing it out with a guy that none of us know anything about. That
You got-
offensive line depth.
You gotta take
really.
a flyer, man, every once in a while. Take a flyer.
Yeah, man.
Myron.
Yeah, man. So listen, guys, this was another great episode. All right, our great minds, the minds of the BKBK team, coming together and putting together what I think. I mean, listen, I'm gonna grade this draft and give it an A-. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Give it an A-, and this is with, 4 different points of views at times. You know what I mean? And we still came together, and I think this looks like a great draft here. So it looks like everybody except for Myron is definitely going to make the team. And Myron is just a dice roll. He could make it, but it's a dice roll. I'm not sure. All right, but good luck to you anyway, Myron. So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching another episode of the BKBK podcast. We want to be able to keep bringing you the latest news and viewpoints of where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme. So make sure you keep watching. And before I continue reading this, I just want to give a shout out to my Long Island brother, UFC bantamweight champion, Aljamain Sterling. Jamaica lick 2-shot blow. He won the belt. He beat the Russian fighter, Peter Yan. It was a great fight last night, and Aljamain came out on top, all righty? So got to support Long Island. You got to support where you come from. So he's another Long Island champ coming out of the Team Sarah fight camp, all right? Team Sarah fight camp, Longo Sarah fight camp, all righty? So, yeah, man, congrats to those guys and everybody down at the gym. That's awesome. Gotta love it. Team Sarah Longo, baby. So, yeah, man. So, if you want to continue watching this show, make sure that you, check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. If you want to check us out on YouTube, just type in Team BK, or not Team BK, but BKBK Podcast, and make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. And you can also check us out on, I just lost my spot here, but
a couple other places too.
On BKBK Podcast.podomatic.com as well, all righty? So you can check us out on that as well, all righty? So, yeah, man, listen. Hey, everything's not always perfect, but I'm sure everybody here had fun watching us do our thing. I'm sure we all had fun.
Yeah.
Breaking chops, drafting, and all of that stuff here, right, guys? From Baldwin, Long Island. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, all right, guys. So, yeah. I'm going to just bid everyone a fair adieu there and have a great day, great show. And big up Baldwin Bruins, baby. Big up Long Island. And big up Team BKBK. We are out.
That's right.